Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome. Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining in. So, welcome everybody to the section for today, 10th of September 2020, on reducing logistics business risk through address and skills verification, powered by Seclot. Okay, so my name is Olasunbo Atekoja. I'll be the host for today, and we'll be having a guest. Our guest will be joining us soon, and I'll introduce her much later. So, all right, let me try and share my screen. So, can you all see my screen?
Yeah, because
All right. So,
Yes, we can.
all right, thank you very much. So, while I'm presenting, if you have any questions, or while the guest is talking, you can make use of the chat box and drop your questions or suggestions. So I'll go on now. So today's topic is reducing logistics business risk through address and skills verification, powered by Seclot Vet. Um, okay. So we due to numbers, increasing numbers of players or people coming into the logistics and courier business, we're having increased reported cases of incidents, theft, asset loss, and all the rest. Asset loss, vehicles, it could be cash, and increased rate of road accidents by our riders or drivers, as we can have it. So we have different types of verification. So we have the applicant verification, which is basically on the principal applicant, could be the rider or the driver. And then we have guarantor verification, which has to do with the person standing in for the applicant. And this person could be a family member, a close relative, a pastor, a person of political standing, a person of what do we call it, a pastor, an imam, or somebody of that nature. And the next one we have is the skills verification. Excuse me. Basically, what the skills verification entails is assessing the ability of that person to actually handle that asset, which is the asset in this case is the vehicle. The vehicle could be the bike or the car that'll be used for the business, could be for logistic business or courier business. Okay, so and the next verification type is we have road signs verification. Okay, we have the road signs verification, and in this road signs verification, we assess the applicant's knowledge of road signs, different road signs that we have, and their understanding of the road signs. So I'll go on to the next slide now. Okay, this coming much later. So now, what are the prerequisites, or what do we need? What are the things we accept or we take in from our applicants? What are the necessary things we need to collect? Necessary details. So we need their full names. So the name has to be in full, not Babarisi or Funto, something like that. It has to be a full name, like Olasunbo Atekoja. Then their nickname, because we have scenarios of people bearing a particular name, but when they get to bearing a particular name at their office, but when they get to their home, they bear different names. Probably one is bearing Kehinde at office, and when you get home, when you go ask after him at home, nobody knows him as Kehinde. Probably is known as Tola or Bisola, and there's always that issue. So all their nicknames, most people use aliases, Tolly, Shorty, and as we may have it. Then their address, their full address, the number, and then the nearest bus stop or landmark, because we have some areas in Lagos State that has not been numbered yet. So basically, they use that landmark or their nearest bus stop to their home address. So, and their telephone number. So it is believed that they are of age. That is the adult age in Nigeria starts from 18. So definitely they should have a personal phone number, not a friend's phone number or a sister's phone number. Because we've had cases like that. We say, it's my brother's number. No, their personal phone number. And then passport photograph. Then after passport photograph, the rider's or driver's license, which is nationally recognized. You know, and between this passport photograph and riders/driver's license, there's an issue, or there's a disconnection between them, whereby most people believe that once you've taken the rider's or driver's license, what do you need a passport photograph for? That'll be a question to be answered by our guest. Then the next one is the utility bill. You know, utility bill will also help us to ascertain that truthfully this applicant lives in this area. It's also like, it's just like a backup, because if you don't live in a particular area, there's no how or no way, there's no way you can get the utility bill for that particular house. So this applies to also to the guarantor, because the guarantor we need their name. Sorry, still on this. For the guarantor, we need their names too, their nicknames, their address, their landmark, their nearest bus stops, the telephone number, their passport photograph. And in this case, instead of the license, they could also drop their driver's license. It could also be a national. It could also be a national ID card, and also their utility bill. Now, to also protect ourselves in such a way, someone needs to use their mic. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, to protect ourselves, or for the company to protect themselves in such for liability, against liability and all, it is advised that they give the applicant a guarantor application / agreement form to fill, so that the guarantor is made to is given the understanding, he's able to understand what he is signing in for. You know, most people just think, oh, is it just for me to stand in that I know you? I go. They don't understand the in-depth of standing in as a guarantor, or most people will call it a surety for somebody. You know, so they have to be made to understand that should, in case this applicant absconds with the company's assets or steals or commit any atrocities while in the employment of this company, he will be held liable. He will bear the liability for such applicant. So that's where this form comes in. And the person has to state that truthfully he knows this person and is ready to stand in case of any incasities. Are we all together?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay, thank you. So the next one is the result set. So what does this result set entail? You know, after the verification has been done, we've gone to the applicant's house, we've ascertained that truthfully or not, the applicant is a resident to this particular area or to this particular house. And we've gone to the guarantor's place too. He has acknowledged knowing this Mr. Hay, and he is aware that Mr. Hay has made him as his guarantor. And basically, one other thing I forgot, we encourage as much as possible to take 2 guarantors in case whereby, you know, when an applicant decides to abscond with the company's assets, you know, when he is just having 1 guarantor, there is every likelihood that he could easily connive with the guarantor and say, I want to see this company's property tomorrow, to next week, for 1 month. Those days are told, I'm running away. But in a case whereby there are 2, it's not easy for the 3 of them to just, you know, connive together and, you know, carry out such act. So while the company is running after guarantor 1, even if guarantor 1 is not easily obtained, we could easily, you know, hold on to guarantor 2, you know, just making the options wider instead of narrowing in our options. So now, the result set. So once we've carried out our verification, what we give out to the client, we do a report sheet. And in the report sheet, we have the picture of the building, the type of building. This could entail the type of building. We have a lot of buildings in Nigeria now. This could be a story building, a duplex, a self-contained and all. Then the color of the building. And we also have something else which technology has enabled us with, which is the Google Map link. The Google Map link, this is the geolocation of the address. It will take us directly to the address, to the address of that house, of that building. All right. So now we're going on to the skills/road skills verification. This is like another integral part of the verification process, because of what uses as an applicant, if he has been assessed and all, and eventually he can't write or he does not know how to handle the company's assets. So this skills and road verification aspect is divided into two. We have the theory part and the practical part. Now, the theory part, it entails naming of the part. The asset should be like a second home to them, or what they call a wife, a second wife to them. It should be the second wife to them, that they should be able to know different parts. They should be able to say, okay, this is what this part is, this is what this part is not. So we ask them on different parts of the bike, of the asset rather. It could be as silly as show us the steering wheel, where is the trafficator, where is the engine, things like where is your fuse, where is your brake light, and then the trick questions usually ask them the brake spring, so asking them different parts like that. And the next one is the maintenance routines. For this asset, they are majorly always on the road, like 24 hours of a day, they are always on the road, probably for 18 hours or so. And there are certain routines, maintenance routines that should be done on them before they are put on the road. Normally for a rider or a driver, before he mounts the asset for a new day, is to check the radiator, his brake light, and also check if his brakes are working, they are actually clutching down and up. Because these are the minor things that our road safeties are last man. Days where you don't have any issues with last man, you are always so thankful that thank God today is gone, no issues. These are the things that last man, they're always on the lookout for on the road. You look out for your trafficator lights, your brake lights, and all the rest. So the next one is troubleshooting. These are solutions that can prevent major, long-term, or necessary. They are necessary to know. They can prevent major problems, major issues on the road. Troubleshooting could be in the sense that, we are in the rainy season now, and I'm sure most riders, they are not aware that once they see flood, I'm making use of this what do you call it now? The bike asset as an example here, as a case study here. When you see a flood of water, they are to switch off the engine. They are not to go in, blazing in with the engine on. They are to switch it off. And once they come out from the flood, they can now switch on their engine. Or in case they do not switch it off, once they come out from the flood, they have to turn their bike horizontally, so as to drain the water that has gotten in through the exhaust pipe, to drain it out before switching on the engine back, things like that. And the particulars identification, daily, our government are coming up with, especially the local government officials, they come up with carriage tickets, whatever ticket they can think of, they come in daily with it. So they have to know to have what they need to have, the necessary particulars they need to have, and they need to do at every point in time. Then the next one is the road signs verification. I had an experience when I was assessing someone one time like that. I asked him question on the what's this this letter P with the red cross, the red mark across it. You know, I asked him, oh, what does this sign mean? And he said, parking. I said, are you sure? He said, it is parking now. And I said, oh God, this is not parking. This is no parking. You know, imagine him now being on the road and he sees that sign and decides to I say, this is not pure. Let me just put my bag here. Let me rest for 5 minutes. And while he is there, last man or any government officials will just come and meet him and say, okay, you're under arrest. Wait, what did I do? Yeah, but this thing said it is parking now. And for that silly mistake or not, he would cough out money. Nothing less than 3,000 naira to 5,000 naira for parking at a wrong place. You know, such incidents like that. So the next one is the practical, which is actually, you know, all with the assets. This is now driving the vehicle, ability to drive the vehicle, their confidence level on the vehicle, their knowledge, their ability to move and avoid roadblocks. You know, imagine those roadblocks are cars or people, passers-by, or a standby or a pedestrian. And as the bike man is driving, or the driver is driving, and he bumps into the roadblocks. You know, if that roadblock has to be a vehicle, sorry, or a human being, you know, there will be a casualty for such incidents. So their confidence level on the bike, an ability to move the bike forward, backwards, sideways, you know, maneuvering through corners and all the rest, you know, those are part of what we assess in the practical aspect, and we score and send in the results. Okay, so any question? Any question?
So, thank you very much for the session. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. In terms of questions, I want us to go back to the slides.
Okay.
So looking at the guarantors verification, I believe it has to do with the guarantor for the riders being able to confirm their address. Now, it's normal for utility bill for applicant, that's the rider or the driver. But do we need the utility bill for guarantor? Like, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to be meeting a guarantor and I'm going to tell him that the guarantor should give me the utility bill. Do you think guarantors will be willing to give out their utility bill? So I said I should ask that.
Okay. Okay. The guarantor submitting the utility bill is not to us as a vetting company. It's to the what do I call it? Logistics company themselves. They have to collect utility bills from their applicants. You know, while telling the applicants what to bring in, to tell them to bring a signed guarantor form and also their guarantor utility bill, their guarantor passport or identification card. So the utility bill is just like a backing, or yes, I'll call it a backing, to actually ascertain that truthfully Mr. A lives in this house. Hello, what did you say?
I didn't get that. A backing, what did you say?
Yeah, I said it's actually just like a backing to ascertain.
Backing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. To ascertain that Miss Guarantor A lives in this house before we go on. Imagine somebody dropping in, okay, an applicant now coming in now, and because he knows that he does not have any guarantor to drop, he probably uses his son's name or something and just changes the surname or something, and where he in, and also changes the address. He changes the address. And on requesting for utility bill, you are saying, okay, on the form, he's writing 10 Shebiotimo Street, whatever, probably let's use First Stack bus stop. But on the utility bill, you are seeing 12 Adebayo Street. What area can I use? Let me say First Stack bus stop. You know, you definitely know that there is a discrepancy on that documentation. So you can easily call him and ask him, well, this is different from what you brought here. You know, we have lots of different people. They try to play smart. So we as a vetting company, and also logistic companies employing these applicants still has to be smarter. Yeah.
So I understand that. I'm just being practical, because if I want to guarantee somebody and you're asking me to bring my utility bill, I might as well be skeptical. But it's fine. I understand this is Nigeria, and I understand the challenges we have in Nigeria. So,
but if guaranteeing somebody, has to be somebody that you know. It can't just be somebody that you see in your church every day or in the mosque, that you just greet and say, hello, good morning, sir, good afternoon, sir. And he comes forward to meet you and say, sir, can you be a guarantor for me? You know, it has to be somebody that you know his character standing. Legally, you are supposed to know the person in and out. You have to know his character standing in the community, not just
okay,
to see every Tom, Dick, standing as a guarantor for him.
That's fine, and I understand that. So the next thing I'm going to ask is, looking at vetting, the process in which it's carried out. So some people would be like, do you let the applicant know that it's going to be verified? Or would you not let the applicant know that will be verified? Now I'm going to explain, looking at the merits and demerits. So an applicant probably knows that it's going to be verified. He can as well go and implant people there that, okay, they're coming to verify me on this day. Please stay there so that when they come, they will meet me there. That's you allowing them know. But also, if you don't let them know, we've had instances whereby you get there and they harass the vetter saying that Mably is coming to, like he's a thief, and he's coming there to just spy on the house. So as a practice, what do you advise? Do you let the vetter, do you let the applicant know that they'll be verifying the house, or would you just say we should keep quiet about it? What advice would you give?
Okay. Well, okay. To your question, thank you for that question. So what we do is, once we're able to collect all the details for the applicants and their guarantors, what we do first is to call the applicant. Oh, are you aware of so? Oh, says okay, he acknowledges and say yes. We move on to call their guarantors and, okay, oh, are you aware of so? He says, oh, yes, I know Mr. Hay. Oh, okay, all right, no problem. So we'll tell them what we do as a company, but we do not disclose when we'll be coming in to vet, to verify that. Oh, I remember an instance when, okay, I will change his name. Let me say Simon. He dropped a particular address that, oh, this is my house. So, okay, I said, okay, no problem. We called, he said, oh, yeah, he's aware. Okay, on the day we were to go, we got to that particular area. We could not locate that number. We could not even locate that address. So we called him. He now said, I am not there presently. Can you come on Tuesday? I said, no, we cannot come on Tuesday. That give us your address. Where do you stay? So on this particular day, he gave us another address. Okay, we said, okay, no problem. we'll come on Tuesday. But that Tuesday came, we did not go. I think we went on a Thursday. On going there on a Thursday, we got to that house, but people were saying they do not know him, that we don't know anybody by Simon here. Okay, we said, okay, no problem. We called him again. Mr. Simon, we are at this location. You are not here. He said, you didn't tell me you are coming now. I said, why should we tell you? We don't disclose. He said, but presently I'm not there again. I'm at Obalende. I said, Oga, don't worry, sir. We are through with our section. So we're on delivering the report to the company. We have to tell them that this person is of a dubious character. He is not stable. We don't think he has a permanent house address. That was that. Hope that answers your question, sir.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, hello everybody. Oh, I'm so sorry. It seems our guest speaker is having issue connecting, so I'll have to carry on without her. So if you have any questions, I'll try as much as possible to answer your questions. But in case she joins us before the section ends, I would introduce her. Hold on, please. Okay, so does anybody have any questions to ask me?
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Okay.
Hello. Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Please, can you
Good.
introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Akinwumi Okuyega.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon. About the guarantors utility bill, there are some areas. What happens in a situation where you go to an area, a developing area, like all the new sites in maybe likes of Ikorodu and the developing areas just springing up, that probably has no address to say.
Yeah.
The streets no address, just just use landmarks or something to describe where you're going to. And these areas, they probably don't have any form of utility bill, being that the way the discos now distribute utility bills is via text message. They just send you how much you're supposed to pay and you go and you pay. But now there's no address on the utility bill. It's just a receipt from the pay points, basically. So there's no address to cross-check with what address or whatever landmark is given on the form. How do you treat this kind of situation?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the question. So, in cases whereby they don't have utility bill, I'm sure they have a mode of payment. Like you rightly said, they do a printout of receipt. And that printout of receipt, there's always the address. There's always that house address on that printout. So that is acceptable. Is the form of utility bill. So they can submit.
Sorry to cut you short. What I said
problem.
was, yes, there's probably in new sites, there are some areas without an address because the street itself does not have an address. So they just create a makeshift address for them. Like, for example, I stay in Ikorodu. I stay in a new site there, and I don't even know the name of my street because we don't have a name. The street does not have a name. So what you just get is the NEPA guys. What they just do is they just say, okay, maybe number 12 Mercy Estate or something. And Mercy Estate is an estate. It's just not a street. It's not a street. So you coming into Mercy Estate and you're saying you're looking for number 12. People are like, where's number 12? Because it's not numbered anything. You understand what I'm saying? So how do you, that's what I'm saying. In an area, a developing area that is not numbered, not yet, the streets are not really named or registered yet, how do you cross-check this with the utility bill?
Okay, all right. The utility bill is not a major part of the verification. It's just a part. So now, what we do in case of not yet established area whereby you don't there's no numbering or there's no streets yet. So what we do, on getting there, before going there, we expect, okay, while collecting details from the applicant, the applicant should be able to say, oh, okay, while submitting the address, I'm sure he will say, oh, we don't have an address yet, or we don't have a street. Okay, fine, you don't have a street. Okay, what is the major landmark? Okay, if I get to this area now, how would I know your house? How would I say, okay, this is this person's house? Okay, my house is the tallest building, or in front of my house, there's a mola there, or there's an aboki there selling something, or there's one mama selling there, giving us those minute details that will enable us to locate that house or locate that particular place. So now on their utility bills, okay, because of this reason, I'm sure you should be able to explain himself on having those reasons. How do you now pay your utility bills? Oh, this is how we pay. Let us have it. Once you can give us, so once you can give us that details, then you can hear us. So when we get to that area, we'll definitely ask. There's a way we go about our verification. So I can't disclose that is a trade secret. So there's a way we go about our verification whereby we can actually ascertain that truthfully, this area or this street, they don't have a bill to them or a bill assigned to them or something. Do you understand now?
Okay, since it's a trade secret, I'll accept it that way then, and let's leave the trade secret a trade secret. But nice one.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I'm just being made known that my guest is here already. Okay, so I'm having here with me Mrs. Naomi Kalu. Welcome. Hello. Mrs. Naomi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry for the noisy background. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Welcome.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. I've actually been with you for a while, and I was just enjoying the session. The questions coming in has been quite educating. Sorry, my background is very noisy.
No problem. No problem.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and ask some questions. It seems as if we are running out of time. Well, let me give you 10 minutes to talk about what you do and introduce yourself better.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Naomi Olugu. I currently work with Hill Technologies. Hill Technologies as head corporate sales. Hill Technology is an e-hailing company. We are just like your Uber, your Bolt, that like for example, both does card, their services are streamlined to just car pickups, but we are versatile. We are into all kinds of transportation. We do courier delivery, we do keke. Just by downloading our app on Google Play Store, you can hail for keke ride, you can hail for courier delivery, you can hail for a truck, you can hail for a ticket, to fly out of the country. You can just, Google, go to Google Map and download our app. So we are actually in all, we do every, we do transportation, we go all the way, we have, fully into transportation. So that is what I do. I've actually been in the industry for over a decade now. I started my career with Blink Transit. Blink Transit was actually the first corporate taxi that rolled out in Nigeria. So I've been, I was with e-taxi for over 2 years. And then I went on to CY, where I actually started my haulage career. CY Incorporated. CY is a man that is very shrewd. I think I've learned over the years, from the best hands. These are people who are very strict when it comes to driver recruitment. They don't play sentiments when it comes to logistics, when it comes to business. They are big players and big movers. So I've actually learned a lot. I've learned that when it comes to business, you must always, put the right structure. You must not play sentiments. You must not recycle. Drivers, riders must not be recycled. I've actually learned a lot. Good evening, sir. Thank you. I've learned a lot. So I've also worked with, in fact, I've worked with quite a number of logistics companies. I've also been opportune to manage a fleet of over 74 trucks and 74 drivers. And that is like my former boss would say, managing a driver is like managing two goats. It's not been easy, but then when you have the right structures and the right plan, it will really pay off. So Sumbo, I would really like to get your questions.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that brief introduction. So now to my question: how are you able to source for your drivers or riders? How are you able to source for them?
Okay, basically, because I have been in the industry, it has not been so difficult. What I just do, I have my team. We put the word out there, and these drivers and riders, they have a way of connecting. Like, they have this solidarity. They have a way of passing information to themselves. So when there's a need, somehow we just get them. However, the best way we have noticed, the best means by which we get these people has been through adverts. We place online adverts. We also keep records. We are very good with keeping records of, our good riders or drivers. We also do go to the parks. We go to the parks we go to the parks. We also do handprints. We share handprints to the drivers, so most of the drivers we get, in fact, we usually employ those that come recommended, those that know someone in the system already, because for us that is like it determines their behavior while working. So there are many other ways though. You can also visit, other companies, other truck companies, because with these riders and drivers, they're always looking for where to go to, bigger pay, better prospects.
Yes. Okay, so after you get your drivers or your riders, what else do you do? How do you verify them? How do you ascertain that?
Okay, the thing is, for when you want to get your drivers, when you want to initiate them and get them into your company, you must have your own standard, and you must not lower your standard for any reason. You must not be pressured to reduce your standard to to please anybody, to please the driver or to please anyone. So we have our standard. And for me, as an operations head, my standard has always been for you to join the company, you must have the ability to read. You must have the ability to identify A to Z. You must be able to write. You must be able to read, because you are not just driving and you are not just mounting a motorbike. You are my eye out there. You are the eye of the company out there. So that is a prerequisite for us. Again, you must scale through all the assessments, the driving tests. You must be able to identify everything on the dashboard, parts of the truck. In fact, I extend my own to you being able to have little mechanical experience, because that saves cost for me.
Yeah.
So that when you have problem, you will not be telling me when A is B, you won't say B is A. You must be able to identify the faults, what is wrong with your vehicle or what is wrong with your bike. So for me, I had to put that just to save, cost, because in this industry, costs, you must find means to maximize profit and reduce costs by every means possible. So when, we have our standard is, some say we are too strict, but I say we are just trying to be, cautious. You must be able to identify all road particulars. You must be able to identify road signs. You must, be of a certain age. You must have certain driving class, license class. You must, come with your medical letter from a general hospital. After which, when you have scaled through all this, your guarantor has been vetted. And for your guarantor, whatever assets we are handing over to you, you must provide a collateral that is almost equivalent or half equivalent to what we are handing over to you. For the guarantors, you must own a land, or you must be employed by, maybe by the government. You must, if you're a pastor, you must be a pastor that owns his church. If you're an alpha, you must be an alpha that owns his. That is, it has to be very standard so that you don't shoot yourself in the foot. So when the driver or the rider has scaled through all of this, then we open our hands to, get the person inducted and properly, we kit you up and, give you the assets for you to work.
That's a very good one. Standard, standard. They shouldn't always be rushed to employ a rider or driver. They always have to see question from the house. For our guests, any question for our guests? Any question? Any question for our guests?
So, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Please help us mute people there. Okay, so I'm just considering the processes involved in vetting. So when the vetter goes to the house, what's the best way to go about the vetting? Is it that you just go to your house and say you're asking for the person, or is there an approach? Because I feel where I have the concern usually is people trying to beat the system. So what's the best way? What's the best advice to carry out this vetting such that you are sure that it's not a waste of value for money? Because I've had instances whereby you get an external person to vet, but doesn't do a better job than you if you are even going to do it yourself. So what's the best approach? Let me just summarize it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wale, for that question. The thing is, when it comes to vetting, recruitment, guarantor, one cannot always be specific. You cannot always say this, this is the best way or that is the best way. For vetting, you cannot always say, is it better to approach the person directly or to go through a neighbor or to go through the back door or to go. The most important thing is that you end your vetting knowing that, yes, you have been thorough. And, if you say, okay, is it advisable to call the person? Like, Sumba was talking about a particular guarantor, or is he a driver that was not told that they were coming, and when they finally got there, he said he was. It could be true that the man, things happen. The man could have had an appointment, or the man couldn't. It's possible I'm living here today and tomorrow I decide to move. So in fact, that even certify for me. I don't think, not telling or telling certifies the accuracy or the validity of the reports, because at the end of the day, even if you find me at home without prior notice, I might actually not even be a member of that household. I might be a guest. I might be a guest putting up with a friend. I might be a guest putting up with a relative. We have had incidents. We've had cases where, in fact, I've personally had a case where somebody was December 24th, when everybody was, about celebrating Christmas. Somebody was apprehended by the police. Why? Because he introduced a driver to me. And he didn't just introduce this driver, he stood for the driver as a friend, as a relative. At the end of the day, the address that was given was actually, that guy went and used that other man's address as his address. He was found there. He was found at that place, but that was not his residence. So I don't think, if you want to be thorough, we should have a parochial approach to it. I think it should be versatile. In fact, there should be many strategies to which you can do your vetting, to which you can, carry out your vetting exercise. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, Naomi. So good to have you here. Thank you very much for honoring us. Really appreciate. So we're running out of time because we have
It's a
just an hour.
pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Having just an hour for this section. So I'll be using this time to talk about Seclot Vet, what we do. So Seclot Vet, we're a verifying company. We verified addresses. We verify literally everything. What you want to verify, do you have people overseas that need to verify their assets here, if it's well taken care of? Or you are playing in online businesses, you want to verify a vendor, you want to ascertain if truly this vendor exists. Okay, sorry. So that's what we do at Seclot Vet. So you can contact us, vet@seclot.com. We'll be happy to have you and hear you. Any question before we sign out?
Thank you. Don't have question from our end.
No, thank you. No questions from here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for joining in. Really appreciate you. Bye. See you next time.
Bye.